Yep. Hello. Name is Mart, as mentioned. The CPO and co-founder of Mirrors. I'm not really good at this conference talk thing. I very rarely do it, but you all can help me. So how can you help me? If I start rambling a little bit too much, then look visibly bored, and then I will take the hint, and then I will move on. So that's what you can do for me today. My talk is focused around the specialties of product management in AI startups. I will try to pinpoint the uniqueness and the differences in how is it different in AI startups, because there are great product management methodologies, and they of course all apply largely in deep tech startups as well. But I will just try to find how is it different in AI startups. Short overview of the company I'm working on to just give you the context, where are my experiences coming from, and what is our product and value prop. Our product is a search engine for e-commerce. So to be clear, our customers are enterprise-grade e-commerce companies who are utilizing our search to service their consumers. Our search happens to work really well in that our promise to the customers is that their shoppers can find anything in 60 seconds from their e-store. And of course, this type of smart search solution elevates all sorts of their KPIs, which is vouched by our customers and demonstrated in numerous case studies. Our first product that we launched to the market is wordless search. So how many of you often struggle to find items in e-commerce stores? Quite a bit actually, but not as many as I expected. So I hope pretty much the only good thing here is that there aren't many product managers in the world, because if there were, then we would be really struggling, and then we should probably fold our company, because actually in the world almost all people struggle finding items from the stores. So why is it so hard? Imagine. It's almost like a programming type of experience. You must enter all the right keywords to the search, and if you make one mistake, then there's no results found, which is really similar to the syntax error. So if you enter your command wrong, then you get like the syntax error. Okay, then you enter some broad keywords, and you end up with some broad results. And then you start filtering and scrolling and browsing and open 20 tabs on your browser, and then so on. It's quite painful. So we thought, can we do away with all that and build a search that requires no words at all? And so we're going to call it wordless search. And then we built it. And it largely works like that. You need to think really hard about the item you want to find, and then magically, in less than 60 seconds, this item is there. And we actually built such a thing. All nice and dandy. Our second product that we launched is Discovery Bar. That is a really advanced natural language processing based text search. So it's a conversational experience where you can enter anything, and it's finding the most relevant items for this anything. A dress that is suitable for wearing at Minion movie premiere. And it would come up with something probably yellowish and with bananas or something like that. Yep. As for the stage of the company, we are 3 years into building a company. We have more than 20 people working in the company, raised about 6 million euros worth of funding. And about the customers, our target license fee annual is about 100K. So we are working with fairly large companies, but not the largest ones. And we have a few industry leaders, or at least market leaders, in our customer portfolio as well. Carousel, the biggest e-commerce marketplace in Asia Pacific. We have Hepsiburada, which is the largest e-commerce company in Turkey, and so on. Many people probably know Ravensburger, the utmost manufacturer of puzzles of all things in the world. A few examples of the problems we are usually dealing with. So Imagine we have a user and we know that user has visited the product detail pages of these 3 lamps. And you know, these are not your ordinary lamps. They already start telling you something about the user. So what can we tell about this user? And asking questions like, what is the most probable lamp that this user is now going to buy? Or for instance, if this user now next search is a rug, do we provide the best service by surfacing the default selection of rugs? Because now, like, this probably is not your average user anymore after like giving us the fact that she was interacting with like these types of lamps. What might the room look like that she's seeking to like furnish? And these are actual questions that we are trying to analyze and look at the data and then optimize and come up with the most relevant and probable results. Or there is another screenshot from our search where someone has searched like cyberpunk sneakers. And arguably, like, these sneakers are somewhat cyberpunk. They are definitely more cyberpunk than your like average sneakers. So questions, how do we know that these are cyberpunk style sneakers? Because no one, of course, has labeled these sneakers like, let's label them as cyberpunk, because it doesn't come to your mind often. And then the descriptions would have like hundreds and hundreds of different keywords. How do we know from this search query that sneakers is a category and cyberpunk is descriptive or style? How do we know that size 12 is like size 12 so that we won't start returning sneakers that look like size 12 but actually are size 12? And what is also quite important for us, how can we do it in under 200 millisecond response speeds? How can we service hundreds and hundreds of search queries a second? And how can we do it in the way that would support our unit economics? And as I will later tell you, it's often like what is keeping me up at night is not whether we can do a certain functionality, but whether we can do it cost effectively, and that scale is immensely important in deep tech and specifically in AI because of the computational weight of these transactions. So what even is an AI startup? There are many companies, for instance, building different wrappers or user experience or value wrappers around the OpenAI APIs. And this is fantastic business, and I really mean it. So like how to bring this AI capability closer to the users by building fantastic user experiences. I'm a heavy user of Fathom AI, for instance, the video call transcription and analysis service, and many others, valuable services. But these like aren't actually like deep tech AI startups, but they are user experience or like value proposition startups. So we at Miros, we are conducting our own AI research. So we aren't just implementing the AIs that others have built, but we are developing our own machine learning methods and models. We are hosting our own machine learning models, and overall, like since we do the entire value chain of the AI research up to the AI delivery and model delivery and rendering services to the end users, we are a deep tech AI startup. So what does it then mean, or how does it make my life different from some other like startups that are relying on more traditional technologies? The technology field is very rapidly evolving. AI is non-deterministic in its very nature. So when we start working with a model, we actually can't tell what it's going to yield. We have expectations, but we can't like make very precise predictions around it. Scarce expertise. This AI boom hasn't yielded yet like trained and then senior operators or technologists. So very hard to acquire this talent. As I mentioned, computational cost is a challenge that is specific to AI. I would say quite specific. Being really data dependent is important. Because you all product people, you are data driven by default. But for you quite often data is a factor of decision making. You're looking at the data and making decisions out of data. But in AI, data also is is a production factor. So we are building actually AI from data. So when we, for instance, build a functionality, we also need to factor in how we are collecting the data and how we can use this data to train our models to have even better AI. So this is something we need to keep in mind a lot. And also AI is widely misunderstood by the general audience, by our customers, because it's a new, very exciting, flashy field, and everyone has some conceptions around like what AI is. And quite often we need to combat these like misconceptions. Yep. Before I go into tackling these, like I would say, deep tech or AI specific challenges that I have learned, I will start with a story. So around 2 years back, as a side product of another research, we discovered a method that was really that delivered really exciting results in the department of text search. But I remind you that our first product was wordless search. So a lot about our company ethos was around like this wordless part. And that's how we sold ourselves to the investors. That was about our like team culture and values. So we were all about like wordless search. And then when we were developing this wordless search method, we like by accident discovered something that worked really well with text. But then, the common wisdom is that the saying, solution that is looking for a problem. And usually when a product manager tells you like, hey, but this is a solution that is looking for a problem, then it's not a compliment. And usually start blushing and sweating, and then you go back and try to like be better next time. And it was quite similar with us. So exciting technology, but it really doesn't align with our mission, doesn't align with our roadmap, with anything. So let's not do anything about it. Then we were like building and marketing wordless search, and everything was going somehow. But eventually, early this year, we kind of saw that our end of the runway is approaching with frightening speed, and the business around like marketing solely the wordless search wasn't going to end up really great for us. Let's put it this way. And then all of a sudden, people got really interested. Remember this like useless solution that we had like almost 2 years back? What happened to this? Because some customers actually were quite excited about it, and it really seems to work really seemed to work well. And also, like first when we decided not to do it, then we thought it's so obvious that like all our competitors will have it like in a few months. I even made a bet for a bottle of whiskey with my co-founder. I said that our main competitor will not have it in 1 year, and he was definitely gonna have it. We won this bottle of whiskey as well. And then really when we felt this existential threat, then we found this solution again, built a product out of it. Had a very successful pilot project with a customer, had, 10% revenue uplift for this customer in blind A/B testing against our main competitor. Everyone really excited, and then doubled our ARR in a few months from this success. Raised a round in August, lead investor EBRD, and that was life-saving for us that we managed to do that. So that's how we saved the company. So we discovered something and turned this into success. And how to win on a lottery? The first thing you need to do is you need to buy a lottery ticket. If you don't buy it, then there is not much chance that you're gonna win on lottery. So when we discovered this life-saving remedy, so to say, it was pure accident. Another question is, can we turn this like these pure accidents? Can we turn them into a process or something that we do? Most of what I had been doing as a product manager has been over business model innovation. So finding new use cases for existing technologies, bringing it all together to amplify end user value. Every now and then there can be some invention when we invent new technologies and doing this in a purpose-driven manner. We have a specific problem, looking for a solution. The correct way of product management, problems looking for solutions. And then we have the solutions that we somehow stumble upon, and then need to discover problems for these solutions that we discover. And the hard thing is that sometimes these solutions that you discover, they have far higher net present value, then you know your methodical approach of finding solutions to the problems, your roadmap, your sacred roadmap. As in my example about the text search miracle that we discovered, we actually should have started like prioritize this right away. It didn't align with our roadmap, but it was a fantastic opportunity. It was clear from the start in hindsight. In hindsight, it was inevitable, let's put it this way. So what have we done after that? We have instituted something that we call decoupled research process. We are quite proud of this process. Thing is that the methodical product development and then research, they are quite different animals. From a product engineering team, you expect certain values. That value delivery is measured and very precise and very focused, that you pick your like small experimentation areas, very disciplined about it. You know what you're gonna set out to achieve, and then so on. With research, most of the research is done precisely in this type of like serendipitous method. Researchers normally don't set out to solve problems. They're just like looking around in the science and then coming up with stuff, hopefully that is turns out to be useful to someone. Also, engineers and researchers, they don't like each other in my experience. So I tried to embed the researchers into the engineering team, and they got very impatient with each other, truth be told. So they didn't have a lot of respect towards each other. You are laughing, but I was really sad about it. So what is a good research method? It is structured enough so that like we would at least get findings in a relevant field somehow, so that that would be largely in the area that we are interested in. And so our solution for that is establishing research questions to the research function. They're specific. How do we increase the whatever effectiveness of determining end user intents? Loose enough to allow for unexpected findings. And for us, the method is areas of interest. So we define an area we're interested in. For instance, the area could be intent capture or intent extraction. Like we are interested in how do we determine end user intent from like interactions and go study around this. And then how can we allow ourselves to be blown away? And our method for that is dream roadmap. Is another thing I'm going to tell you about. What is a dream roadmap? Dream roadmap is precisely that. It's an interesting animal. So we honestly have it. A dream roadmap is entirely a rational roadmap of things that we would like to achieve, like problems that we want to solve and solutions that would be like most ideal solving these problems, but they're all impossible. So we know that you can't have these things. For instance, like in our dream roadmap, we have something we call wordless language. You know, the wordless search where you need to really hard think about the product you want to find and then miraculously somehow find the product. And in our dream roadmap, we have a similar language that people could use to communicate with each other, maybe even like exceeding the language barriers of different languages, and also talk to computers in the way that they really think really hard about what they want to communicate. And then miraculously the computer or the other human being would understand. We know full well that right now it's impossible, and it's not that we like decompose this project into like epics and tickets and start doing it right away. But it's something that we often think and have it in the back of our mind that we are interested in this area. By the way, in my experience, dreaming is really hard. If you really start like iterative product management is like quite simple compared to that, because you know you have a product and then you want to improve it, and you have all sorts of like actionable insight from the data, from user interviews, so on, and then you can go into really like maybe a bit like programmatic or like mechanist mode, just problem-solving machine. But try to like dream in your area. I don't know what your area is, but what is something that would be really like ideal? Regardless whether it's possible or not, and then for me at least it's really hard to think about it, but valuable to think about it. Otherwise we get stuck in this iterative mindset. And how do the moonshot then, like how do we get to these moonshots if we even don't have a systematic way of thinking about the moonshots? So this is how our famous decoupled research process looks like. What we aim to do here is that the research function, and we have the researchers and we have the product engineering team, that the researchers, the entire research function is a black box for the product engineering team, like an oracle or like a magician or a shaman or some sort. And we decided we want to have it this way. So there are only a few touch points between the two teams. So in the space of product strategy, the product people can go in and write we call problem space documents. So we take a problem space and write the problem space document, like how do the product think about this like problem space, and defining the areas of interest and specific research questions. And the research team then at the later stage comes back with either research reviews or working proof of concepts, like ML models, for instance, in Python notebooks or whatnot, that already work, but are decidedly not production ready. So then we have also the like our production system and our POC system, we have them decoupled so that we don't need to think about scalability or any like engineering standards or anything like that when we are dealing with the research. And eventually, then the research function would give operational models, or at least instructions how to build operations models back to the engineering team, so that the engineering team can apply their methods and values how to then build these products. So, like, of course, like everyone wants to be aligned and like have a lot of communication, but it's also like good in my experience to have this separation. So I would say that our like product engineering and research, they are tightly aligned, but very, very loosely coupled. Another method we are using is opportunity solution trees, which is a great method, and mainly to avoid premature convergence. So not only solution convergence, but also problem convergence. So we have a business outcome that we want to achieve, and then there are like this way of thinking like enables us to find different opportunities how to unlock a certain business outcome, and there is also always competition between the opportunities. And within an opportunity, there is always competition between alternative solutions. And what we also do there as slight modification is normally the opportunity solution tree only accepts solution to predefined opportunities and opportunities to predefined outcomes. But in order to have this like discover and serendipity going, we also accept orphan solutions. So you find a solution, you put it in this opportunity solution tree, but it's orphan. So we don't have like opportunity or outcome for this solution yet. So it's another example of this these solutions that are still looking for problems. I'm running out of time actually. So what I also like one specific method that we are using is the technical proxy metrics. I will bring an example. We have, let's say, 10 plus AI models, and how do we like determine what is the best one? Like split testing all of them, and how would we do it? The solution for that we have is a technical proxy metric. What is a technical proxy metric? It's a like programmatically measurable technical metric that has a proven correlation with a product metric. So for instance, product metric is, I don't know, the conversion rate or adoption rate of some feature or whatnot. You have a product metric, and then you determine an underlying technical metric, for instance, model precision. And then you establish a correlation between these two metrics. And how this helps us in AI research and development is that we can run hundreds of model configurations and then have a programmatic hypothesis about the like impact to this business or product metric. Makes our life so much easier. Here is an example where we are benchmarking certain models, and we see that the precision and latency is optimal for this like 14 model here. So we can take like many models and then run a benchmark and then have already like very good hypothesis what will happen in the space of the actual product implementation. About the misconceptions also one story. So we have a service adopted by the customer, and all KPIs go through the roof and the customer is overjoyed, everyone really happy. But then the customer comes back, like this search result is not correct, or we don't like it. And our previous service provider didn't have it this way. And then why is it here, this search result? And as said, the AI models, they aren't deterministic. So we can't explain why, as with rules-based implementations, we always know why a certain something is there. It's similar, for instance, with ChatGPT. Can you really explain how this response came to be? No, it's probabilistic. It just happened here. Try something else, something else happens. And it's been a struggle to bring customers into the mindset and the users into the mindset that what we have here, that what the AI tells them, that this isn't we can't explain why this is here. It's just probabilistic here. So what we can do here is, I think the metrics of AI is an interesting field, and I don't think that we have great solutions here yet. That's a challenge for us, and also customer education is really important in the space of AI. So key lessons for me: opportunity-driven approach for sure. So of course we need to run a tight ship. But also when opportunity presents itself in deep tech, where the technological environment, the space is so quickly moving, if you miss something, you can miss it big. And this is different in deep tech, because in more traditional technology, you don't have that exponential 10x surprises coming up very, very frequently. And in AI, it's different, and then you might miss out the big way. As I said, the research function is tightly aligned, but very loosely coupled from what's happening in production and servicing of customers. Fast beats right. So in this quickly shifting technological environment, very important to have this iteration velocity up. And also, it has certain strain on the decision making and consensus building, because usually consensus building and decision making, they take time naturally, and they tend to take too much time. So how to have if an opportunity presents yourself, or if your assumptions prove incorrect, then how to build consensus very quickly within your colleagues, and how to make decisions very quickly, something that we have been struggling with, as demonstrated by the example that almost killed us, which was totally unnecessary in my mind. And that people don't understand AI is also something that is weird, but is a factor in our business. Yep, thanks for me. Yep.
Okay, thank you, Mart. So we do have questions for you. I actually have one while we're getting started. Dreaming is hard. And it's a muscle that many people struggle with. So I'm just curious, how do you help people train themselves to start to be more creative and to use their imagination when you're in that kind of that discovery, as well as that innovative stage or phase of your journey?
I would tell a quick story. So I was involved in a military screening. So a unit was compiled, and I was observing how the unit was compiled, and there were interviews. And then one candidate was really crazy, and the acceptance committee was discussing, no, we can't accept this guy because he's too crazy. And one of the senior fellows said that, but guys, if you ever are in need of a crazy guy and you don't accept this guy, what you gonna do then? And this is one of the answers here, that we have managed to hire a few guys who look certifiably insane. And they them being so crazy, it also inspires others and gives some validity and legitimacy of dreaming, because all dreams look really crazy when they come up first. So my first answer would be to have this diversity in the team and accept people who seem a little off,
Is your search tool capable of helping me find shoes easily for my grandmother who lives in Chile? If yes, quickly explain how.
Yeah, I think it could be helpful, because you can even describe what your grandmother likes, and then shoes for someone who is this, that, and the third thing, and you would end up in a correct ballpark. You can think about this as ChatGPT for e-commerce findability, even though we aren't actually using LLMs because it's too slow and too expensive for us. But the experience can be resembling GPTs a little bit.
Have you experienced challenges managing AI products due to an unready market, even when you believed it would boom? How did you handle it?
Sorry?
Have you experienced challenges managing AI products due to an unready market?
Of course, yes. Almost killed us. So when we first started, then it was even very hard for us to get calls with e-commerce companies. It was very hard, and then we were at the right time, like right product, right time, because then the interest started picking up quite quickly. So being too early was maybe one of the mistakes.
What's the wildest target in regards to business on Miro's current dream roadmap?
I would say, like, of course, the language, the dolphin type of language. This is crazy enough. But imagine, like what could be achieved if the language that we are speaking is not exactly effective as I should know myself. So I'm maybe not really like is it really effective using words in communication? How much more we could achieve when we wouldn't have to do that? But we have also more down to earth things like how do we build up user personas from online interaction for marketing purposes, so that the marketing already can start tailoring the marketing jargon or the way of, for instance, copywriting to certain persona groups based on their online interaction. So this is more down to earth. It's in our dream roadmap. We are keeping eyes open when we can execute something in this direction.
What was the user feedback after implementing the word list search?
That it's maybe that it's what was the user feedback? How do I summarize it? Maybe that it's an exciting functionality where there is some disconnect with the actual user needs. You know, a little bit of this like solution looking for a problem vibe with that as well. So exciting thingy, like, you know, a pony who can sing, but like ponies don't sing all that well, and like you know, like a bit of this vibe maybe in hindsight.
Are you considering the neural link technology to improve the wordless search in the future?
Interesting question. You know, people imagine that Neuralink kind of technologies can really start that they would be like mind reading, but actually you can play Pong with Neuralink. So the human thought is so nuanced and multifaceted that conveying, I don't know, my love for my kids or whatever through Neuralink, like it's really hard because it's like in so many higher levels. So I think that the like my personal thesis is that any like brain interfacing is like wildly overestimated, at least in medium term. What can happen like in some far future where it starts having the resolution for any like complex thought transfer, like we will see that, but playing Pong and your like wildest dreams or for instance even your like e-commerce preferences, there is a huge gap still.
How did you manage to get your customers ready and capable to articulate a usable desired product state? How did you manage to get your customers ready and capable to articulate a usable desired product state? So
usable product state, yes.
Yeah.
I don't know. Wasn't really hard for us. I have a story about it again. It's we had like a large meeting of enterprise suitability, and like everyone was there, and like all kinds of requirements that they had, like long list that we all should support different configurations and reporting functionalities and stuff like that. And then I asked, guys, what is like I saw the list, no way we're gonna do it, like it's not gonna happen. I asked, guys, can you tell me what is really important for you here? And then the CEO, who was like camera off on mute all the time, then suddenly activated, turned on his camera, turned on the mic and said, guys, most important for us is to fix the shit search experience that we currently have, and everything else can wait. And after that, like all the talk about these like huge like checklists of features like went away.
Okay, I'm going to slip in one more question. How do AI regulations impact your product?
It doesn't impact us much in Europe right now, but I think it's a serious consideration. Let's say, like, I hope that soon a day will come when I have the luxury of paying more attention to this question, because right now, today, like, I have bigger problems.
Okay, thank you.